It's DJ Lifestyle here, back with another video. This one's on, well, you're going to hear from Larry Fink, and then you're going to hear from Quant, a token that I've invested in, quite simply because of what it backs up what Larry Fink is saying. Larry Fink is basically saying that we need to reimagine finance. And remember, this man is the head of BlackRock, as I understand it. Him and they literally control the world, if you want to put it that way. They have their fingers in many pies. He talks about you know, the different types of financial options that people could have, charging poles, you know, all these different types of reimagined investments that people could have. And this is where DeFi comes in. This is my view on it anyway. Let him explain it. He explains it better in 52 seconds than I could. Anyway, let me get this going.
I believe we are hitting thresholds of just too much debt. The only solution we have now is reorienting and reimagining how we finance growth. And I think the way we're going to be able to finance growth is public-private. There's so much private money that is looking for great long-term investments to work, whether that is in power grids or infrastructure, and sustainability, charging stations, you name it. You know, and so in all our conversations is how can we reimagine finance? How can we find a better structure, and how can we then leverage public finance with private capital to augment growth? I believe.
And there's so many applications that are out here. I mean, like, I've shown you a couple. One is orchestra finance, which is going to be a DeFi option on the XRP ledger. But there's more to come. When you think about all what Larry Fink has just said, it makes perfect sense. We need to reimagine this world as because there's way too much debt in the system. I showed you done a video the other day on the amount of debt that the USA has, the world debt. It's, you know, it's disgusting that we're in this position, and this is why we're seeing all these global events take place. This is not by accident. Everything that we're going through right now is a planned event to bring us into the future of the new technological world. I think when you wake up to that fact, you're going to see it. Hopefully you're not too late. Hopefully you've done your research. This is not financial advice, but invested in tokens with utility companies that are going to be changing the financial world. Anyway, let me go and find you the Quant video where they talk literally what they do about what they're doing. And yeah, hold on a sec. Right, now you're going to hear from Quant. Quant, they're going to explain basically about the old system. We need a better system. We need a new system. The old system is literally obsolete. This is why we are seeing the disruption that is taking place. You know, it starts with trade finance, and I've mentioned this before. But Quant Overledger is a completely different beast in this space. It's a little bit expensive for those who just want to get in this space at the moment. Like, I think it's like $87 per coin. So I am not advocating, and this is not financial advice for anybody to go and get that particular token. But you need to listen to what they say, and it's 5 minutes. But listen to what they say about this, and this is their promo video, by the way. Okay, so let me get this one going.
The current form of money that we have today is obsolete. We've been using the same system for centuries. What we need is a new form of money that is fit for the future.
We believe that blockchain technology is the future of finance, bringing trust and transparency to any transaction. In payments, its programmability allows banks and payment firms to innovate for their customers. While in capital markets, tokenization of all kinds of asset classes is connecting issuers to deep pools of entirely new investors.
The impact of blockchain to finance is actually just as big as the impact of the internet to society. It really is transformative and changing the entire underlying architecture and the infrastructure of what we use today. Blockchain allows us to have smart money. Smart money allows us to program new types of logic, new types of functionality into money to do things that is really fit for purpose for the 21st century.
But there's a problem. Blockchain is often costly and complex to implement properly, and most enterprises lack the specialist knowledge required.
Each of the blockchain technologies is really complicated, and it's quite a niche skill, right? They were only invented a few years ago. There's not millions of developers that know this.
It's a new nascent technology that's hugely transformative, but difficult to integrate and difficult to bring into any financial institution.
Its usefulness is undermined by a lack of common standards, the inability of assets deployed on one blockchain to run on another, and the fact that bridges between networks and poorly written smart contracts can be exploited.
I founded Quant with the vision of really changing the entire architecture of our financial system. The pain points that everyone faced with blockchain technology was a barrier to its adoption. And so we set out very early on to remove all the friction, change all the perceptions of blockchain, and make it easy to integrate into any corporate or enterprise system.
Until now, we've been applying our expertise in standards, interoperability, and secure smart contracts to a few transformational projects. We've worked on national infrastructure in Italy, a cross-border payments network in Latin America, and most recently on Project Rosalind.
Project Rosalind is our collaboration with the Bank of England and the Bank of International Settlement to understand and test with the industry what a retail central bank digital currency looks like.
On the infrastructure side, we hosted the blockchain. We built the smart contracts. We exposed smart contracts to a kind of a back-end API, so there's the technical work. And we're also involved in kind of building the requirements. Right? So we spent a lot of time in workshops with all of the other folks in the project, building out how should this work. So there's a lot of detail in that. So in terms of participation, we put a lot of expertise into the project. We put a lot of experience into the project, and then we did all the technical work as well.
What we learned was there's a way we can make money, a digital pound, for example, smart. We saw firsthand participants like the Central Bank of Canada, Amazon, Barclays, MasterCard use this innovative escrow technology that we built to create new types of payments and new types of flows.
We're proud to announce that the same interoperable technology, the same expertise in blockchain and secure smart contracts, the same commitment to security and resilience that has underpinned all of our work to date is now available to anyone with the launch of Overledger platform.
We're launching Overledger platform as the enterprise standard for building on blockchain. We've taken all the experience and work that we've done for the Bank of England, Bank of International Settlement, and opened that up for the rest of the industry to use.
By using Overledger between their technology and the blockchains, they've got a standardized API layer that translates all of the messages that are needed, which means that people can build faster, they can build more securely, they can build without hiring external developers, they can use their existing in-house developers. And not only that, they can connect their existing technologies. So rather than building a whole new platform, take the platform you've got and build a blockchain module for it using Overledger. You could get to market 3, 6, 9 times faster, depending on the use case.
Blockchain projects need this kind of technology. It makes the projects faster, it makes them cheaper, and it makes them last a lot longer once they're built. So Overledger platform is just a massive enabler.
Overledger is a game changer because it allows people to connect to blockchains without knowing anything about them. We have all of our APIs in a business language, so you don't have to have any expertise in blockchain to be able to connect to them. It just makes it super easy and super simple.
It's our way of creating mass adoption of the technology. It's an enterprise way to access this new innovative technology without having all the friction and the barriers and the challenges that come with it.
Overledger platform is simple, trusted, and future-proof. It's available today from our website.
Oh my days. I'm ecstatic quite simply because this whole thing that's been happening right now and the whole change that we're seeing, especially when it comes down to these blockchain and enterprise solutions that are allowing companies and allowing it to be a lot cheaper and using the APIs that we, most people understand in those realms of, if you like, of finance, how APIs work. You know, I understand APIs that you can use them to connect, etc., etc. I mean, like Facebook uses APIs for different things or whatever. This is the way forward to allow people to get onto the blockchain without even knowing that they're on the blockchain, if you understand that. So Overledger is built on a system that allows people to basically connect. So you can have all these blockchains coming in together, connecting seamlessly using APIs. I hope I explained that all right. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to play you the next video, and this one's on an expert who's going to talk about where he sees stable coins and how they're likely to use. I don't think we should be looking at doom and gloom when it comes down to CBDCs. To me, it depends on what type of CBDC they're going to use. Whether is it going to be like a stable coin CBDC, which is not programmable, but you know it can't be used in money laundering and all that kind of stuff. If that's all it is, that's fine. But if it comes down to tracking, like I played a video before about how you will be possibly taxed, carbon credit tax, you have to pay this and all that kind of stuff, that may not be what is going to happen. I think there's a lot of fear out there. I think we're transitioning. We're going to have maybe some kind of event that will allow this to happen. Anyway, let me go and get you that video. Also in this video, he does mention Bitcoin and ETH, and he says they're not likely to be the disruptors. Anyway, let me get you this one going. It's better that these people explain it, better than me.
Years, I'm starting to come to the realization that it's not going to be, the disruptors aren't going to be the Bitcoins of the world, or maybe even the Ethereums or DeFi, but are going to be adoption of stable coins and or tokenized deposits. And the best way to think about these things are digital tokens of physical dollars. And so you may be thinking, why would we need a digital token of physical dollars? The reason being is, think about how banking works today. We've got every bank and every credit union has its own books, their own set of ledgers. And anytime that money is moved, it's mostly moved electronically, and it's actually not moved. It's just that two institutions will update nearly simultaneously, or not necessarily simultaneously, the debits and credits on their ledgers to reflect the quote money movement. And the problem with that is because it isn't always simultaneously, and because it does require a fair degree of kind of double checking and reconciliation, that's a slow process and it's an expensive process. Some of you may have sat in on my earlier talk back a couple weeks ago, which was an overview of the Bank for International Settlements blueprint on the future monetary system. And in that, they outlined a world where finance moves to a unified ledger, so kind of a shared ledger. And the reason for that is when you've got institutions sharing a shared ledger, you don't have to do that reconciliation. Any movement or data entries in that ledger are instantaneous. There's no more any settlement risk. There's no counterparty risk. It solves a whole bunch of problems like that.
That sounds to me like XRP, the XRPL, the XRP ledger. I'm not being funny. If it's not centralized either, that's a decentralized ledger. So anybody can actually use it. That's what it was created for. So maybe, I don't know, I cannot say. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not here to do that. Like I said, and he's also going to probably mention JP Morgan coin. Whether that's the one, I don't know. But JP Morgan and XRP are the XRPL ledger are working together. So
it's instantaneous. And it's very inexpensive, and it doesn't require lots and lots of third parties. So think about like an international transaction today, maybe sending money from somewhere here in the US to somewhere over in France. It's going to require a correspondent banking relationship. It's going to require a bunch of data, ledger entries, possible mistakes, checks for know your customer AML type checks, and it's going to take a long time and probably cost somewhere between $25 to $75. That can be done on a unified ledger using either stablecoins or tokenized deposits nearly instantly for no cost or very little cost at all.
And that is XRP Ledger. It's a very low cost, for fractions of a penny. You can actually, within seconds, you can get your confirmation. So is it going to be on that? Is it going to be Stellar? Is it going to be XDC? I do not know. I cannot say. But I do know, as I delve more into this whole realm of what's happening with this change, things are happening, and I think 99% of the people on this planet are asleep. They don't see what's happening. The world is in debt, and that is because of the dollar, quite simply. Whilst the dollar may be up today, it benefits those who are using it in America. It doesn't benefit the rest of the world, because the rest of the world sees inflation. So, no. So we do need a change. Whether we have a black swan event to make that happen, I do not know. I cannot say. All I can say is, wake up, do your tech lifestyle out, take care of yourself. Anyway, stay safe, and don't get scammed. Get regulated. Yeah, later. Bye.
Government's interest expense will increase more between 2022 and 2024 than in the 51 years. Interest expense will increase more between 2022 and 2024 than in the 51 years prior. And with about 30% of government debt that needs to be rolled over the next 12 months, this could become a big drag on the economy. Now, the second way it affects the economy is corporate borrowers. Corporate debt is similar to government debt in which it's not due at the same time, adding to this lag effect. Now, most companies, sort of like the government, they spread out their debt, so there's only a small amount that's actually maturing in the 1 year. So it can take time until the more expensive debt replaces the cheaper maturing debt.